Okay, hey guys, this is another Zero Respawn Photoshop tutorial. This is me, Liam, from the PlayStation and Tutorials for Photoshop section of the website. Now, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a sort of a lomography effect for your pictures here in Photoshop. It's pretty simple, not the best kind of effect to remember. It's pretty long-winded, but there you go, that's Photoshop for you. So, it's the first thing we need to start off with is that we're going to use the lasso tool here, and we're going to set the feather pixel depending on what size your image is, because this is quite a large picture, quite a big resolution. So I'm going to set my feather pixels to 80. So we need a feather on your pixels there, because we're going to create a vignette around the guy in this picture right now. So once we've set the feather, you have to draw like a kind of circle like around the main part of the image. So just kind of like this. Just freehand draw it. Don't worry if your hand's wobbly or shaky, or if it's all out of place, because it will just correct that once you've got it there. See. And then what we want to do is we just want to invert this. So we're going to press Shift Control I, and that will invert the selection. So once we've got our selection inverted, we wanna add an adjustment layer of we want to add some levels. We just want to change this levels. We just want to change this middle one here a bit. I'm going to turn it down. We just want to turn it down to about 50. So we get this this dark edge from the picture. You can change it down as much as you like, depending on what you want your picture to look like, really. But we want it around 50, maybe not too far down from 40, because as you see on the image here, things start to get a bit contrasty if you turn it down too much. So we want it around 50, about 45, 50. I'm going to keep mine on about on a 50 there. So so now we've got the basic vignette around it. We're then going to create the Lomo look. So so at this point we're just going to want to flatten the image. Okay, so it's all one main image now. So then we're just going to go down here and add another adjustment layer for curves. Now on this, we're gonna try and kind of make like a slanted S. So we're gonna bring this up, and we're gonna bring this back down to the middle here, somewhere, something like, we don't want it too dark. We're gonna bring this back down to the middle. You just got to play around with this for the desired effects. It really varies on like what you want your image to look like. So you can add as many points as you like. You're just going to want to play around with the image here. So I'm just going to have a quick play around here. I'm just going to move a couple of points around. I might use 3 points in this here. So just to get that nice effect. So this works pretty well. It's kind of a slanted S. It's, as you can see, it's not amazing, but it works. It gives off that effect. It makes the picture a bit brighter, and it gives off a bit of a like a vintage sort of effect, which is what we're kind of looking for here. So if I just darken that down a bit there and just pop that up, maybe down a bit, just there. So once we've done that, we're going to want to create a new layer on top of the other two layers. So we just go down here and just create a new layer. And on this layer, we're gonna want to use the paint bucket tool and just fill it with black. And just fill the whole layer with a solid black like that. Now this is very simple. Just change the blending mode over here on the right. Set it to hue and reduce the opacity to around 40. I would say 40, depending on how dull you want the picture to be looking. So if you want a bit more color to it, turn it down to about 25, 24 there, but mainly we want to use it on 40. You get the better results after the next few layers that we're going to do. We're going to start sharpening and then we're going to save it. So this is like the last few steps here. So this has got us very close to the finish now. So again, you just want to flatten that image right there. So we've got a whole solid image right there. Now, before saving the photo, you're going to want to sharpen this photo. So we're going to use the unsharp mask and the lab mode or lightness technique. The purpose of this is that it adds more contrast and darkens some of the areas of the picture as well. Now you can use whatever sharpening technique you want if you have your own, but this prevents the color halos and that happen with some sharpening techniques. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna go to image mode, and we're gonna set it to lab color. Now if we go into our channels here, we just want to select the light. I think it's the lightness here, and then you're just gonna obviously these should all deselect. So once you've selected your lightness layer, you're going to want to filter, sharpen, and unsharp that mask there. And then you're going to want to set this. I think that's all right like that. You're going to want to set it to about around 50% on the amount, 50% on the radius, and the threshold to 0. So 50 pixels on the radius, something like that. So something around there like that. It gives that depth of color. So you get that kind of solid look on it. It should be pretty good like that. So now we've done that. Click OK. This is it's all completely up to you on this part. If however much you want it to, however you want the image to turn out to look like. It also depends on the photo as well. So it's better off using your best judgment. So this part is just kind of like a skeleton of what you should do, depending on the image of what you've got. So then you want to go back to the image, the mode, and then you want to set it back to red, green, blue color, and then you get that colored sort of vintage vignette lomography effect in the computer. So now you just want to save your image, and then you're done. Obviously beforehand, if you want, you can add text, flatten that down, and then use this tutorial, because it will apply all the same effects to the text as well. I wouldn't have the text black, because you'll probably lose some of the text during some of the effects. So that's pretty much all you need to do for this kind of desired vintagey lomography effect on any photos that you're using. The higher the resolution, the better the effect you'll get, especially with the feathering here. No matter what, if it's a high resolution, always use 80 pixels, but I mean, I wouldn't suggest using this kind of effect anything below 1280 by 1024 or 1024 by 786. I wouldn't use this effect on anything that's smaller than that type of resolution. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get the best out of your pictures.